Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're here again for our 16th video conference during this process as we close out our 8th week of bringing these little messages to you. Before I get to sort of a little story for you today, I just want to say to all the citizens of the county, and especially as the weather warms up and we want to get outside and we want to go and we want to do, and even before the pandemic hit, we're always glad when the winter is over and the springtime and we can get outside and work in flowers in the gardens and do things and go and take vacations and that sort. But this whole thing has taken on a whole new process for all of us, certainly different from anything that I've experienced in my life. Tuesday morning when I came to you, we had 356 cases. This morning we have 396. We're up 40 cases since we came to you Tuesday morning. We had over 30 yesterday in one day. It's the largest single day of cases that we have experienced since we started keeping the records, since the state started keeping these records of the spread of the virus. And as we get out and go and do, and as the governor's implemented phase 1 and more pressures to open other things, that's just natural for us. But just please take care, take notice of your surroundings. Have a plan. If you're going to the store, go in, get it, pay for it, and get out. And be careful of our surroundings and where we go and what our exposures are. We're around people that we don't know. Don't know where they came from, don't know who they've been around. And that seems to be the trend. That seems to be what is causing the spread in these number of cases. So just please be careful and protect yourself, your families, take care of yourself, your own health, and we will get through this. But as I said to you way back at the beginning of these videos, we can help ourselves and we can help our neighbors and those that we come in contact with. As businesses have been opened up and people come and go from different places to work. We've had several of these cases that were actually contracted in businesses outside of Randolph County, but they reside in Randolph County, so they become a part of our statistics. They go catch it somewhere else and bring it back into our county, into our community. So just please be careful of your surroundings and know where you're going, and as I said, take care of your shopping and move on. So thank you for that, and we'll be back next week to bring you more up to date. And Susan will bring her report to you a little bit later this morning, and Hal, and you're going to meet some of the folks in this room behind us this morning that have been here from day one, taking care of business, handling hundreds of calls and several thousand of calls now, answering questions, dealing with business, personal calls, and so we're most appreciative of them, our health department here, and all their efforts on behalf of the citizens of this county. They're in a non-win situation, as our human nature is to get out and go, and they're dealing with the ramifications of that. So just please keep them in mind and yourselves as well as we go forward. So with that, this morning, I want to bring you a little story. I guess a little life story. Fellow that was born in Ontario, Canada, back in 1909. He was the son of a Wesleyan Methodist minister, and his mother was a talented musician. Taught him how to play violin, the piano, the organ. So if we go to when he was about 20 years old, that would put it in the midst of the Great Depression, when people were losing jobs, families losing jobs, businesses closing. This young man had developed quite a musical talent, not only the beautiful baritone voice that he had, but he had a unique way of composing music, of taking the notes and putting them together into the right harmony, the right tune that he wanted to accomplish. And he was being sought, his musical talents were being sought by recording studios, Some of the folk, his family had moved to New York by then, and some of those producers and directors of the Broadway plays, even some of the Hollywood folks, wanting him to compose soundtracks for their movies. And he was faced with a decision in his life. And he was 23 years old in 1932, facing a decision in his life. And his mother printed out a poem, a favorite poem of hers, and placed it on the piano where he would sit and develop music. And he came in and read the poem and sat there and began to type out the notes on the piano until he devised a tune to go with that poem. The poem was written by a lady by the name of Rhea, or Ray, it's R-H-E-A Miller. She had written this poem about 10 years before, 1922. And the poem was entitled, I'd Rather Have Jesus. And the first stanza of that poem said, I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold. I'd rather be his than have riches untold. I'd rather have Jesus than houses and land. I'd rather be led by his nail-pierced hand than to be the king of a vast domain and be held in sin's dread sway. I'd rather have Jesus than anything this world affords today. The young man had typed out the tune, put that poem into a song that became a great and most beloved song to this very day. That young man's name was George Beverly Shea. If we go forward to 1943, the family had moved to an area near Chicago, and George had gone to work for a radio station there. And a young minister had come into the area as a pastor of a local church, and he had a radio program. And on one of those programs, George Beverly Shea came and he sang that song, I'd Rather Have Jesus. The young minister's name was Billy Graham. And that struck up a relationship between George Beverly Shea and Billy Graham that survived as long as they were alive. In 1947, George Beverly Shea went to the city of Charlotte, Billy's hometown, and sang in the Charlotte City Crusade, sang that song, I'd Rather Have Jesus. In 1949, Billy Graham went to the city of Los Angeles, California, and began a revival, a tent revival in that city. The revival was scheduled to last for 3 weeks. It lasted for 8 weeks. And every night, George Beverly Shea sang that song. And that became the beginning of the Billy Graham evangelistic crusades that went to every country in the world and entertained and influenced and brought life-changing decisions to millions of people. And during his life, George Beverly Shea was recognized in a number of ways. He was inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame, the Gospel Broadcasters Hall of Fame, the Country Music Hall of Fame of Canada gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award. He was nominated for 10 Grammy Awards and actually won 2 of those Grammy Awards. In February of 2011, George Beverly Shea received the Grammy's Lifetime Achievement Award for the year of 2010. He shared that stage that night with the Kingston Trio and a lady by the name of Dolly Parton, as they also received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. You might know some of that if you followed George's life. What you may not know is that George Beverly Shea is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records. He is there by virtue of the fact, the certification, the documentation and certification that George Beverly Shea performed that one song, I'd Rather Have Jesus, before more than 230 million people. He sang before more people than Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and the Beatles all combined. He passed away on April the 16th of 2013 in Montreat, North Carolina, at the age of 104. He's buried, George Beverly Shea is buried on the grounds of the Billy Graham Library in Charlotte, North Carolina. All of that was possible, and over 230 million people were inspired and blessed, went through life-changing experiences, because in 1932, at the age of 23, George Beverly Shea decided, I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold or houses or land. I'd rather be led by his nail-pierced hand. And I ask you this morning, what would your decision be today? God bless you. Thank you for listening today, and have a good weekend. We wish and pray for the best for our churches, our pastors, as they deal with this situation in their worship service. Thank you all, and God bless.
Good morning. Today we're going to give you a tour of our EOC so you can see what we're doing in the coronavirus pandemic. So follow me. So here we are in the coronavirus EOC. This is a joint effort between Randolph County Public Health and Randolph County Emergency Services. We have staff on both sides here that operate every day, and then we have staff who actually work throughout the evenings and the weekends from their home. So we'll go around and meet each one and see what we're doing. First of all, this is Sam Varner. Sam is our liaison with our business community, and he is able to help businesses know what they can do to reopen, to prevent spread of coronavirus and those things. Do you want to say anything, Sam?
No, just thanks everybody here working hard to help you.
All right, and Dana?
Okay, and so
we've got two of our nurses here. Crystal's on the phone. This is Dana Wright. Dana is a communicable disease nurse and a preparedness coordinator for Randolph County Public Health. And she kind of helps guide what we do here. You want to say anything? Okay.
thank you, though.
Thank you. All right. So these are also nurses, and these folks, and they assist Dana and Crystal with case management and contact tracing. The two folks over there, this is Lisa and Pat here. We have Liz and Marlene over there. They both are Spanish interpreters, and they help us with our Hispanic population and being able to talk with folks and get information from them accordingly. Kendall Phillips, wave Kendall. Kendall is one of our health educators. We have two others that are here usually. That is Allison Johnson and Wendy Kennan. They are not here today, but they do all of our communications and help provide information to the community on coronavirus. Donovan Davis, you should know Donovan. Donovan is our chief emergency services, and Donovan helps us with all kinds of things. So he is sort of the incident commander right now, so he's a pretty important fellow, and we appreciate him being here. And then Amy Scotton. Amy is our county attorney, and Amy's very important. There are a lot of legal issues that come up in a pandemic that you just don't think about. So we greatly appreciate Amy being here, and she is part of our team as well. And generally she is over in the Randolph County office building, but she comes to the OC every day. Thanks. And then certainly last but not least is Tara Aker. Tara is our assistant health director, and Tara is a jack of all trades. She does communications. She consults with businesses. She does things that we need her to do from a public health, big picture standpoint. So Tara has been very important in our operations here as well. So that is our team, and as I said, it takes a big effort to do the work that we're trying to do every day, but it's important work, and we are here to protect our community and make it as safe as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Darrell Fry and Public Health Director Susan Hayes, for your comments and your updates today on the coronavirus and its impact to our Randolph County community. And thank you to our public health nurses, our educators, and our emergency services staff who you met today. And you see them behind me in the emergency services operation room. These are the dedicated professionals that provide the coordination and the service during this pandemic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As of today, Randolph County's produced 17 videos that are designed to provide you with up-to-date information on the status of the coronavirus pandemic. To date, these YouTube videos have generated almost 21,000 views, and that's not counting shares. And we genuinely thank you for that, because information in a time of crisis can be a citizen's most valuable resource. These 17 videos have included updates from the following Randolph County organizations and departments and agencies: our Sheriff's Office, our Emergency Services, our public schools, our Register of Deeds, Social Services, Risk Management, Animal Services, our Economic Development Corporation, Veterans Services, Cooperative Extension Service, our County Inspections Department. Special presentations like the one that you saw today from our public health educators and nurses, our Senior Adults Association, and our Wellness Administrator, who maintains the coordination with our Randolph County business, industry, and municipalities. All our videos are designed to provide you with information regarding how we work to ensure the continuity of county services upon which you depend. Our next video will be Tuesday, May the 18th, and they are usually posted on the Randolph County website around 1 p.m. Thank all of you again for spending time with us today, and please stay safe as we continue to face these challenges together as a Randolph County community.